What is going on, everybody? It is time for our 2023 year-end recap. That is what we're going to be talking about on today's episode of Brick Talk. This is episode 8. We're here with KDX Bricks Analytics. Later in the episode, we're going to talk about some upcoming 2024 investments. But before that, I wanted to talk about the Battle of Endor Heroes set. This set was supposed to retire a few days ago at the end of 2023. However, it looks to be still available at a limit of 5 on backorder from Lego.com, which makes no sense. This set is supposed to be retired. What's it doing here at 40% off?
Well, let me ask you this question. Do you think it still is going to retire, or do you think it's going on to the end of 2024?
Is this the next Mando and Child Brickhead?
I think not. I don't think Lego would have it on 40% discount this long if it wasn't going to be retired at the end of 2023. But we see that when we have a retirement date with Lego sets, some of them actually disappear in late October, early November, and some of them that still retire at the end of the year carry on to January, February, and maybe even the following January in some rare cases. So I definitely think this set is still going to retire, but it's very, very interesting and a little bit worrisome that it has still on back order and still available and still at the 40% off price point. And the question for you, is it a great investment even now today to pick these up?
Absolutely. Let me show you why. Here we go. We can see that despite being on sale at Lego.com and having been for a long time, here's a lot of 10 going for $33 a piece with free shipping. I think you could even turn a profit buying these today at 40% and selling them there. Now, it's not much, and that's ridiculous. And if you have the means, you should absolutely buy and hold these sets at this price. Just looking at the numbers, it does seem like this set is selling pretty darn near its MSRP, despite being available from Lego right now. So who knows what's going to happen once that sells out? Look here, $48. That's a very reasonable price to pay. That's only $9.50 per character here. That's pretty much standard for Brickheads. The Leia looks absolutely great. I love the Wicket Ewok. R2 does look a little boxy, but these two characters look great. And you know what I'm looking at in particular, my man Kevin, is Lando Calrissian here.
Lando, oh, it's so good. But all of the characters are good. And I want to go back. Don't be calling R2 boxy in this.
Leave a comment down below. Do you believe R2 is boxy?
A lot of people have already commented in previous videos about how R2 is boxy, and they've said they don't like it.
I think
wrong. It's supposed to be boxy. It's Brickheads. I love the look of this. And then what did Lego do to pay homage to the nice curvature of R2-D2? They put those little pizza slice pieces on top and then the dish. So you've got the curvature there, but it pays homage to the traditional Brickheads form. I love the R2-D2 in this set.
Maybe this is a case of needing to build it to fully appreciate it, but nah, man, I'm not seeing it. This amount of value at 549 pieces for $24 available from Lego, potentially even with a gift with purchase on top of that, this is a no-brainer and a great value.
Which of these 5 is your favorite character in the Brickheads form?
Absolutely, Lando Calrissian, no doubt. This is such a baller minifigure in all of his forms. Looking back at the Cloud City version, obviously that's a $500 Lando. There's also from the more recent Betrayal at Cloud City 2018 Master Builder Series set. The Lando there is a really sick minifigure, also commanding a pretty good value.
I agree. That's my number 1 character too. Who's your number 2?
I would say the Forest Leia.
That's interesting. Me too.
I like that minifigure, and especially thinking back to those vintage Lego Star Wars 2, the video game, 2006. Yep. This was a great character to run around, use the grappling hook on the Ewok levels.
And this is where we disagree. Who's your 3rd favorite in this set?
I got Ewok, the little guy.
Wrong. R2-D2.
Bro, R2 is coming in last in the pod race, my guy.
I like Luke, but very plain.
Luke
he's
is obviously 4th place.
Obviously 5th place is what you meant to say. Well, I thought I was done investing for 2023, and I know we're only a few minutes into this podcast, but when we're done, I might go see if I can get more of these. I think I'm maxed out, but maybe my wife wants 5 of these, without me even telling her.
Maybe you could go to the Lego store with some sunglasses on and just pay with cash, and no one would ever have to know.
Oh, this set has been out at the Lego store for the last month, at least locally for me.
Later, I want to tell a story about this when we talk about some regretful pickups this year.
All right. Well, so I have a story for you, and this is a good segue for mine because we're talking about your story later and also the Lego store. So here's something kind of fun for me that I'll share on our podcast. So I was at the Lego store. It was Boxing Day. So it was the day after Christmas. I got there pretty close to when it opened up, and I just wanted to see what was still available. And I did grab some sets. Bopping around in the store, a couple of guys came up to me and they're like, "Hey, you're KDX, aren't you?" And I was like, hey, what's up, guys? And so we chatted for about 20 minutes in the middle of the store, and they were really nice guys, and we had a fun time chatting. So that was super fun. And so, of course, as sarcastic as I am, I came home and told my wife first thing. I said, hey, I'm a huge celebrity now. We got to move. We got to do all kinds of crazy stuff. And we had a good laugh about that. But yeah, that was a fun experience. I don't expect that to happen like in a Target or in a Walmart or anything like that. But the day after Christmas in a Lego store, I can see similar minded people as to us being in the store at the same time and possibly watching our videos and being like, hey, and shout out to DG and our podcast. They were like, oh, we love the podcast, man.
Are you kidding me? Let's
They totally, they're
go.
like, we love the podcast. We love the banter. And they said, we love that you two guys are very straightforward. You come across as very honest, very relatable, not blowing smoke, all that kind of stuff. And so they were very, very supportive.
That is amazing to hear. Cheers to the fans. We love the fans. So later on, I'm going to talk about one of my more successful pickups as well as my regrets. Fortunately, my success is much larger than my.
Wait a second. Before
I was gonna include that one little line. I was gonna include that one little line, and you ruined it, my man. Fortunately, I was going to say my success with the Republic fighter tank is a much bigger story than my small little embarrassing failure. We will talk about all that in a little while.
All right, David, continuing on with our year-end review, I've got 3 recent pickups, kind of end-of-year pickups that I'm really excited about. Want to share those with you. I know you've got a few too, so let's hit back and forth and hit on those. My first one is 5 more last-minute Inquisitor transport Scythe. Let me pull that up for you.
These ones right here.
Those right there.
Man, we have talked about this set so much. What more is there even to say?
Well, it's such a great set. We can repeat ourselves. Short shelf life, just over a year. Outstanding minifigures. Oh, they look so good. But what I want to talk about, and I got to go to my notes here, is that I picked up 5 of them a couple of weeks ago from Barnes & Noble after using 9% on the card cash, getting, the 9% off gift cards online, and the stamps. My buy-in price was $55 a box. And if we're going to eBay, we're already looking at about $100 before shipping. And so that was a huge pickup for me. I am very excited about that.
Yeah, this is absolutely a great long-term pickup, reminding me a lot of last year's Bad Batch Attack Shuttle. Also a $99 price point set.
And I wanted to show this one because people forget a lot of times about Barnes & Noble. And Barnes & Noble have some extra stock carrying on into the next calendar year sometimes, like Hedwig. I haven't picked up any Hedwigs. I really want to get some. I was hoping we would see it on sale at some point. Hasn't happened yet, but they're still available. I'm going to go pick some up here before they go completely out of stock at Barnes & Noble. So what's your first set that you are excited about on a late pickup? This set again, you got to rub it in. I knew you were going to bring this set up somewhere in the 2023 year in review episode.
All right, man.
You're killing me.
Let me share just a couple of quick personal facts about this set. This might be interesting. This is the second most set that I purchased the most of in dollar value in 2023. So I'm quite deep in this set. Somehow I paid for 5 of these and I received 6. I really don't understand what happened with that. So getting them at a price of around $275 after all the Rakuten sales tax, and that's before any gift with purchases. They came with a little $10 Pirate Scary Island gift with purchase. But hey, every little bit helps on the discounts. This set is off to a great start. It's already selling around $350 to possibly up to $450 on eBay. Expect that to go up in the coming months. It's pretty much gone. If you want to grab this at MSRP, you may be able to find it at Target. It may pop back into stock on Amazon, but for now, oh, what is this? Never mind. Forget about Amazon. This set is currently selling for $498.45. So already, that's a great ROI. I've been saying it all year. This is a great set. Everyone should have been looking at it. Not financial advice. We never talk about financial advice on this podcast. We are not qualified to give financial advice. So this is purely speculation and for fun. We do have a lot of fun here on the podcast.
We do. And David, I stopped listening a few minutes ago, honestly. So what's your point? I'm tired of that set. It's garbage.
My point is you have to know it's a good deal when you see one. And when you see an unbelievable price, you should double blink. You should do a double take. You should blink your eyes. And if it looks to be real, you should then load up with 10 or 20 of them. You should fill out the max quantity because the early bird gets the worm, as we both learned one day in Target in October. Let's talk about it, one of our successes.
Well, and I just want to highlight again on this Republic Gunship. David is absolutely right. I was at a kid's soccer game. I came home, I ate lunch first, and then came back, and I missed it by half an hour. The set was in stock, and then I missed it by half an hour. But I now know why I missed it, because they're sending you extra copies. There is something going on there. We need a full investigation. I don't like it. And now I know why I got none.
Now you know why everything is rigged.
Yeah, the world is rigged.
You have no more belief in anything.
No more belief.
Except for the power of, who said it? I can't remember what the quote is, but it's about compound interest. Oh, it's this eighth wonder of the world or something like that.
Oh, and I also believe in all the great pickups that I have that are already going up in value.
Great, let's talk about them.
All right, DG. So my next last minute set that I am really excited about is this one right here. Bam, the Minecraft Brickhead's Llama 40625.
So this is 100 pieces for $10. That's perfectly on the price per piece that we'd like to see. I love the printed nose on the Llama. And you know what appeals to me about this set, Kevin, is this appeals not only to Minecraft fans, but also to just anyone who appreciates a Brickhead's animal. This is a really cute one. It stands out a lot from all of the various dog breeds, which look to be not selling the best.
It's not only this one. Now, this is the one I'm most excited about. We all had the Llama picked out from the day it hit the shelves, but we also have this year's Zombie, same shelf life, also just retired. And then if we go back a couple, the third one that was released is Alex. We all knew this one wasn't that exciting, but Llama and Zombie are awesome. And if we go to eBay, let's look at Llama. It's already $25 shipped.
Whoa.
That is amazing. And look here, all three of them, $60. You could buy all three for 30, throw on some double VIP, maybe some gift with purchase, something like that. And you are in the money on these. I only have 6 of each. I knew all along I wanted to pick them up, but there were so many good sets to get this year that I just kind of lost focus on this a little earlier in the year. And then sometime in November, I was like, oh, shoot, I still need to pick these up. And then I got to my Lego store late November, and there was only one more Llama. And I didn't want to get more of the others if I couldn't get a complete set of 3. I wanted to have the same number of each. So it ended up being 6 of each. But I wish I'd gotten there earlier, because come early December, Llama was all sold out in my Lego store. And then it wasn't much later that Zombie sold out.
And funny enough, I missed all 3 of these completely. I just never went to the Lego store. I wasn't really looking in that direction. When I went in, I was in a bit of a hurry. And so as a result, I have 0 of all of these. And I think that's okay. The people who have them are going to do phenomenally on a small purchase price set. Now, because of the power of the bundle.
That's right.
It's actually going to make sense for a lot of Lego investors, and a lot of people will make money on this. That's great. I'm happy for them. I've focused my capital on other sets this year, and I'm very happy with my choices for the most part.
Absolutely. But you're right. I looked at it as a $30 set, and these were flying under the radar. Minecraft investing has gone down. Minecraft investing in the past has been very good, but Minecraft sets in general, it's kind of run its course for investing. And I know we've talked about this in the past, DG, but quick pop quiz. How many Minecraft Brickheads have been released in the past?
I think only 1 before this.
Just 1. And how is it doing?
Fantastically. It's a $20 set and it's up to 100, right?
Exactly, right here. And I wish that I had picked up a lot more of those Brickheads. I knew all along that they were great, but I'm glad I picked up the 6 that I did kind of last minute.
Another of my great successes this year was during Black Friday with Walmart. They put 2 of the retiring Speed Champions left over from 2021 at 50% off, down from a $20 MSRP. They were available for $10. The Supra sold out within minutes and then came into stock a few different days, very quickly selling out. The Koenigsegg Jesko, I was informed by a commenter, it is in fact pronounced Jesko. Anyways, let me check my figures.
There you go.
It does look that I picked up 32 of the Supras before it retired and 56 of the Koenigsegg Jeskos. Those are some great pickups, since most of them were picked up at $10.
And I picked up 30 of the Jeskos. I missed the Supras. I was running a little late on that day too, but I picked up 30 Jeskos. Did Walmart send them to you like in their original Lego box, by the way?
Yes, many of the
awesome?
3-packs. Yeah,
That's
I got 4
3-packs.
That's awesome. I got 4 or 5 of those all together.
They're good, sturdy boxes. They pack them in there. None of those were busted up. The ones that weren't packed in there that Walmart had taken out and put them in other boxes were a little bit busted up in some cases, but all the ones that came in the traditional wholesale Lego boxes were awesome. And I love that Lego sends them to Walmart for Walmart to then send them directly to us.
I must have great luck, because of ordering about 80 or 90 $10 Speed Champions, I think I only had 1 or 2 show up damaged.
Nice. I only had 3, so out of the 30, it wasn't bad.
So it is worth noting that both of these are extremely long life Speed Champions, right? They've been around for 2 years plus 6 months. That's 30 months. Quite a long shelf life. Many speculated they would retire in 2022. It is now 2024. So these sets have just now ceased to become available. However, it does look that the Supra is selling for around $25 to $30, and the Koenigsegg Jesko is selling for about $30. Shelf life may not be everything, and you know I'm a big Speed Champions guy, especially if you sell on Amazon. They're one of the easiest ways to multiply small amounts of money. For that reason, I'm very excited about these pickups, and I think these are great sets, despite the god-awful Supra triple sticker headlight.
Yeah, you're right about that. All right, DG, that was a great winner. I've got one more for you. I picked up some in the middle of the year, and then I picked up a few more at the end of the year, and this one will probably surprise everybody a little bit, but it is the Millenium Falcon Holiday Diorama. And I forget, you love this set or you hate this set?
I am lukewarm on this set. I think it's a mediocre set. I do own 2 of them, purchased at full price. Wah, 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 wah. I missed that 30% sale. I said, oh, there's no way that'll go on sale. And then sure enough, it went on sale, 30%, sold out within a day or two. Originally, I was a little bit lukewarm on the Christmas sweaters. I'm beginning to warm up to those, but as I look at some of the past ones, they are cool. And they actually do command, $5 to $10 in the market each. So there's some serious value here, especially with some unique minifigures. You could see this becoming one day collectible. So I kind of dropped the ball on this set. Fortunately, it's only $60 that I invested suboptimally.
Yeah. So looking at my notes, I picked up 8 at the 20% off. So that was $24. And I think there was some good GWP and double points when I got those. And then I picked up 3 more at the 30%, $20 price point. And let's go to the eBay. Boom, there you go. It's going for over MSRP ships. And so I know that's not a big chunk yet, but I'm very excited about this set and I'm very inspired by what I'm seeing on eBay, not only for this set, but also for the Battle of Endor Heroes Brickhead sets. I told you I'd come back to that and have some correlations. So this set right here, the Millenium Falcon Holiday Diorama, poo-pooed by a lot of people.
Including me.
Including you. Mainly because it is from the sequel movies, and those movies are, we all know that. Also, the minifigure characters weren't that special, but it's Star Wars, it's holiday, it's diorama, very short shelf life, but it's one that we were all wondering, is it going to retire? How long is it going to be around for? Is there way too much stock? Is it way overproduced? All that kind of stuff. And it really wasn't, and it's retired. Of course, we're not 100% sure, but all signs are showing that it's retired, and it's already performing well. So now if we go back to the Battle of Endor Heroes, similar story, short shelf life. We were all curious, is it going to retire at the end of this year? Was it way overproduced, way overstocked? And like you said, if it's still available come March, April, May, different story. I don't think it will be. I think the performance of this set is an indication that this one could, and I think likely, do the same and not be in stock too much longer. So yes, I am excited about the Millenium Falcon Holiday Diorama. I was always a little bit nervous about it, but what I'm seeing here on January 6th, I am very excited about it.
That is a very high risk play. And while I commend you that it worked out this time, I prefer to save my investments for safe bets that I feel very confident at a great price. Now, you did get a great price on these dioramas, unlike myself.
Mr. Safe Play over there. Got to push it a little bit.
One last thing about the diorama set is it was exclusive to Lego.com. It was never available from Target, Walmart, or Amazon. Somebody told me that there are 100 sellers of the Battle of Endor Heroes on Amazon, and they're saying that this is indicative of a lot of sellers hoarding, an overabundance of supply, not enough demand.
To me, it just means that I'm going to be holding on to it a little bit longer, and I'm okay with that. I'm not as obsessed with hold time because I'm not as concerned with turning over my inventory super fast. I don't have tons and tons of sets. I'm not plugging up the whole house with storage, and so to me, it's worth holding on for a little longer and waiting to the right price point.
Yeah, man, you're always telling me about how your wife is nagging you to sell more sets.
That is true, but I said I'm not as concerned. My wife is not part of the podcast, and so, her voice doesn't get heard in this podcast, but it does get heard when she and I are talking.
250 likes, and we will do a celebrity guest appearance.
Celebrity guest appearance.
Mrs. KDX.
So, DG, we were talking a little bit before we recorded, and you mentioned that you were getting some questions and comments asking what is the ROI or return on investment that you like, that you look for. And I think this piece of the conversation actually ties together with that. So I don't look so much at what the hold time is. I'm waiting to hit my ROI and then I'm pulling the trigger. And some of the ROIs can be really short and some of them can be longer. And to me, as long as it averages out and I always have new stock coming in and I have enough stock lined up on eBay eBay or Marketplace going out, then hey, it is what it is. I still think Battle of Endor Heroes is a heck of a set, and I am happy to wait for the early over-hoarding inventory to work its way out of the system before I even look at putting these out there for sale.
By the way, I totally agree with that strategy. I mostly do that in my own practices as well. Another set to think about when thinking about this is the Ahsoka Tano Brickhead. That is going to be blown out by a lot of people at $20, $30, $40. The price will continue to go up since the supply is very limited and the demand is going to, I would think, increase with the show taking off and just as time passes. All right, we have Dr. Accountant coming back at it again. We are going to look at a recent ROI of mine. I recently sold the 2018 75955 Hogwarts Express $80 train. We all remember it. It was wonderful. It's a great set. Much better value than the currently available $130 Hogwarts Express. That is ridiculously overpriced and just a much larger set. So after purchasing these sets on 20% discount late in 2021, I actually passed up purchasing some TIE Fighter pilot helmets at full price. I thought, well, these are at full price. They were just going out of stock. I thought, oh, I could get these, but I'm not sure about these helmets and they're at full price. I'd rather pick up the set on the 20% discount. I better get some Hogwarts Expresses. So I did so. I purchased 6 of this set at an average price of $64. That's exactly 20% off. And wouldn't you know it, that was the most embarrassing decision of my entire Lego investing career. Fast forward 2 years to holiday of 2023, in the lead up to Christmas, I sold one of these sets locally for $70 cash to a local buyer who was very happy to have it. He said, "This is wonderful. You're making my son's Christmas." I said, "Cool, man. Enjoy the set." I held it for a total profit of $2 in 2 years of hold time.
Great story. Sounds like a lot of pain. And honestly, after all of the Republic Gunship talk, I'm kind of enjoying the pain that you're feeling on that set right now. It feels good to me. And at least half the viewers out there must be Team Kevin in this situation. So I'm sure it feels good to them too. Great story. And those things do happen. You get the big wins, kind of the gambles like you talked about with the Millennium Falcon holiday diorama. And sometimes it bites you. It's part of the game. It's part of the fun. I am curious, what ROI do you go for to really think I'm ready to pull the trigger?
In terms of deciding when is the right time to sell a Lego set that I've been holding, I look at both the price history on both eBay and Amazon to see what the set's value has done in the past, to see how quickly it's increasing. Most sets appreciate with time. It's just a matter of how quickly and over how long a period of time and to what percentage of total growth. A good example is a set behind me like the Corvette. That set currently goes for around $40 to $45, maybe $50, as high as $55 on Amazon. But after fees, you're going to be netting as a seller around $35 to $40. And if you pick them up at $20, you've doubled your money on that Corvette. But to me, I view that Corvette as an $80 or $100 set. And so despite the fact that it's already a 100% ROI, I'm going to continue to hold the vast majority of mine for 2, 3, or 4 years. So somewhat like you, I'm not as concerned with turning over my money as quickly always. That is, however, untrue with the Star Wars. I've been selling a ton of the Mandalorian fighters. You have them here behind you, I see. Those are a great set, and those also have, I think, a long runway ahead of them in terms of possibility of value increase. So while they still do have a long runway, I did need to sell through some inventory this last winter, and so I sold about half of my Mandalorian fighters, about 30 to 40 of them, and I'm glad that I did. It was the right choice. I captured some profits, and now I can keep the snowball rolling in terms of reinvesting that compound growth.
Now, the way you described it, there are a ton of variables there. For me, it's three-pronged. 1, it's data-driven. 2, it's frustration. And then 3 is a hunch. So the data-driven one is if I can double my money on a set after fees and shipping, then I'm generally going to pull the trigger. There are some caveats. If it's a small set like your Speed Champions 2-pack, which I also have about 10 of, yeah, I think that can go higher. I'm going to wait on that, even though I could pretty much double my money right now. So there's, give and take here and there. But generally, the data decision is double my money after shipping and fees, especially if we're talking $50, $100, $150 sets. Then the second approach is frustration. If I have a set and I think to myself, this set should be doubling and it's not, eventually it's going to be sitting on my shelves here at home. I'm going to say, that set's really ticking me off and it is time to cut bait. Yeah, luckily that doesn't happen too often, but I got a couple of doozies coming up that I'm going to have to do that with here and that I bought this year. And then the third one is the hunch. There's always that hunch where you look at a set and you're like, I have a hunch this one could go real good, has a long runway ahead of it. And I think the downside is pretty minimal if it's already doing strong. It's unlikely for a Star Wars set to come out of the gate strong and then just drop off of a cliff in value. So it's fun to play the hunch sometimes. I'm all in favor of making the smart decisions, but sometimes you got to throw in a little bit of hunch and a little bit of a flyer to see what, you can pull out. You just don't put too much risk behind those decisions.
Hey, will those holiday dioramas one day be $75 on Amazon? I certainly think so.
Yeah. Yep.
I preferred to load up up on sure bets like the Republic fighter tank, but at the same time, I want to transition into our next segment. We're going to talk about sets that we missed or that we regret. And while I did purchase many dozen of the Republic fighter tank during Black Friday, that also meant that I overlooked amazing sales on the Dagobah training diorama and on the Luke Red 5 helmet. So while I'm very happy with my allotment of fighter tanks, I literally ran out of time and was not able to order or capture any of that discounted stock. So we can see here, this was during Black Friday, $57 for the diorama and $43 for the Luke helmet. Oh my goodness, this set is already selling for $80, $90, close to $100 on eBay shortly after being retired. I knew it with the unique coloring and the totally eye-catching design. I knew this was going to be a winner, and yet I only picked up 13 of them. That's all right. I picked up, I think, 30 of the Boba Fett helmets a couple years ago.
Nice.
I was hoping to get at least 20 of all the helmets, and I just dropped the ball here. As I said, just like last year on the Mandalorian fighter, I've over-focused on one particular set. While I did very well on those fighter tanks and on the Mandalorian starfighter, I do tend to over-commit into one set. That's just how I think of multiplying money the easiest and the quickest. And when it comes to things like listing and the effort of making sales, it's a lot easier and a lot more streamlined when you're selling fewer sets.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. I got a ton more of the fighter tanks than both of these two, but I'm happy with the quantities I got on these, and they're great sets and they're already doing well. First one that I feel like I'm missing out on, I have a couple, but it's not nearly enough and I wish I got more. Will probably surprise you all on this one too. It is a Harry Potter house banner, the Hufflepuff house banner. And I said this in my videos for pretty much the whole year since these came out, that these were going to be pretty good, but this one in particular, with all of the detail, the bright color, was going to be really good. And if we go over to lego.com, $35, very expensive, 28 sold out. We were able to get them. They did like 2 for $45 at one point, and there was some good gifts with purchase. So there were opportunities to get these around $25. But let's go to eBay for the Hufflepuff house banner. $48 shipped already. The others are not doing much over MSRP, but I knew this one was going to do well.
What?
I only have 2 because I wanted to get, again, complete sets. So I have 2 of each, and I really should have got like 4 or 5 of each, but I got distracted and on to other sets because there were so many other great deals. Got a bunch of Hufflepuffs.
Well, what we are seeing now, it looks like, is the bad side of the bundle. It can restrict you from buying sets that you really should be buying more aggressively.
And what does this set remind me of? It reminds me of the Hogwarts Moment Herbology class.
Plants.
And these weren't too exciting, didn't do that well. But this one was the one that had the nice foliage, the nice
foliage, the house plants.
That's right, the good minifigures. And oh, this one was $30 and now it's going for $50. And if you remember, all of these were actually $15. So I got a couple of these at $15 and have been selling them for around $50 recently.
Wow.
So yep, I am wishing I got more of these. I'm kicking myself, but it happens, like you said.
This is your own tragedy, like my TIE Fighter helmet versus Hogwarts Express.
Yep.
Again, we chose wrong. People, we have to use our brains. What is Lego selling 50,000 or 100,000 during the holiday sets per month on Amazon of plant sets, icons, plants? What do the people want with a big P? Plants. We should have known this. And going forward, this is going to be built into my strategy on certain sets.
You know what? I'm going to flip the script on you, DG, and I'm going to go to my next set that I'm really annoyed that I missed out on.
Oh.
And this one, the Botanical Bird of Paradise 10289. Woo, what a set. Some people said they don't really like how it looks. I actually was an outsider on that. I thought it looked great, and I still didn't pick any up, and you could have got it for $50, $60, $70. DG, did you pick any of these up?
I'm just checking my records now. I'm not going to go doctor accountant because it's not that complicated. I picked up 3 of these for $64.40. I wish I'd picked up 13 of them.
And how well are they doing on eBay right now?
You know, I have not looked.
Right
Holy!
Here. 160 shipped, 155 shipped, 140 shipped, almost 200 shipped.
Well, folks, it looks like
20 of these at $60.
It looks like I dunked on myself. I should have known, knowing that it was plants. Plants for president in 2024.
There you go. So I know it's your turn to tell us your next set that you really wish you had picked up more of, but since you did the whole capital P for plants, I flipped the script and I showed you that I absolutely had prepared ahead of time to show you that set right there. And oh, I hate it.
Well, after that absolute debacle, I have another set to talk about. I picked up this set right here, 40547, Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. I thought this set was retiring. I wasn't sure. I was at the Lego store and I think I needed to hit another $20 to activate some sort of special promo. And I was in a hurry and I just picked this set up not knowing it is scheduled to retire in 2025. So it looks like I may be opening this one up. Interestingly, this is not a pop type seal. You can see there's glue there. So
nifty.
This is a small factor to think about, but when you're purchasing sets early in their production run, do you worry about things like, oh, well, my seals glue are going to be 2 years older than newer sets production runs that maybe will hold up better to fewer years?
I don't worry about that, but I have a small bottle of super glue nearby. So if the box starts to pull apart, just put a little dab in there and squish it back together.
All right. My next set that I wish I had bought way more of is not one you will see behind me, and it is not a common one that you will see on a lot of wish lists. However, I wish I had bought way more than I did. I only bought one copy of this set. Lego Monkey Kid The Heavenly Realms, set 80,039. We can see here this is selling at, we don't really know because it was a best offer. Here are the minifigures selling quite well. Keep in mind, this is a $190 set that I guess was put on a 30% discount at the end of its life. Wow, that's incredible. I should have scooped up more at that price. I only picked up one copy of this set and it looks to have doubled in price from the $190 I paid for it. Once again, I wish I had bought probably 10 of these had I known, but I just wasn't sure. This was one of my gambles of the year. And after seeing how well these early Monkey Kid sets are doing, I'm pretty encouraged about the future of investing in this theme. So I'm beginning to take it a little bit more seriously for investing.
DG, this is a momentous occasion in our podcast history. This is the first time that you picked a set. And I picked the exact same set. I had one more that I wish I'd picked up. I didn't get any, and it was absolutely this set right here.
Whoa!
And missed out big time. And especially at that 30% off, that went quick. I totally missed that. And same as you.
Even at full retail, even at full retail with just double VIP, so just with 10% back, basically cancels out your sales tax, and then a little bit of credit card, a little bit of Rakuten, just at like 10% off.
You're already close to doubling your money on a larger, more expensive set. It's amazing. I am taking the Monkey Kid theme a little more seriously. A few remaining Monkey Kid sets were on Lego.com up until the last couple of days at 30% off. I did pick up a few, not a lot, but I prospect in each of those. This one looks amazing, and I do want to give myself a pat on the back with this set, and it really isn't a pat on the back because I was an idiot not to pick any up, but there was basically nobody talking.
Don't forget to use Rakuten.
There was basically nobody talking about this set for investing. As you know, I do the data table with all the mentions. It was like 2 or 3 mentions for the entire year. There was very little discussion on this set, but when it did come up, every time I said, I love this set, it's awesome, it's going to be great, but I just didn't pull the trigger on gambling on this one. I gambled on a couple others like the holiday diorama. Obviously, I'm kicking myself. Had I realized that it went on that 30%, or had I caught the 30% discount, I absolutely would have got them at that price, but I just missed it, and wow, what a mess.
I only bought one of these, and I bought it way back in January of 2023, nearly a year ago. I think for full price. I just decided it was a good set. I guess my hunch, my instinct paid off, and I had a good eye for this. So I have one copy. I've done quite well on it. I may actually hold out until it hits like $500 or $600 before I sell mine. Incredible set. Wish I had bought more.
Too bad you and I both don't each have 10 of this set. But I was just patting myself on the back for identifying this as a great set. Now I can kick myself for not buying any. And I've got 2 sets that I bought a couple of each, and I can kick myself for buying those 2 because they were a terrible investment.
I actually rescued myself. I noticed recently that the 80034 Nezha's Fire Ring $100 set was put on a 30% sale with Lego at the same time as a retro food truck gift with purchase. So effectively with 2.5% back on Rakuten, you're looking at an average price of $74.72. That is good for a 25.27% discount. Not bad for a Lego exclusive set. It's an awesome set. Look at these pictures. Compared to some of the other Monkey Kid creations, vehicles, things of this sort, this reminds me of the giant Hailfire droid that you see here from way back in like 2002. Absolutely incredible. And as the Monkey Kid theme takes off, it seems early indications are that the larger sets in that theme, values going diagonally up, my friends. Do with that information what you will. Not financial advice, just we're talking about what we're observing in the marketplace, which is very interesting to us because we are nerds.
And we love being nerds. Couple of comments on that. Number 1, great job bringing props to the table today, man. That is a cool set you just grabbed.
Thank you.
Number 2, the ring from this set is made from gold roller coaster track. That's
Come on, man.
Sweet. That is sweet. I don't know if that helps the value or not, but it's sweet, right?
I want to interject here. When I was selling my Market Street set, we'll pull up a picture on the screen for those in the podcast. Set number 10190, Market Street. This is unofficially a modular, but later Lego came back and said this is officially a modular. I used to have this set. I built it, I think, when it came out in, looks like it was available from October 2007 to April of 2009. So about a 18-month shelf life, maybe. These white hoses, these pieces right here, 4 of them making up the balcony. These were at one time a $20 part on Bricklink. So as I rebuilt my childhood Market Street, I did not have the box, but I sold it on eBay for $500 or $600, 100% complete. I needed money. I was moving away for college and I wanted to slim down my collection. So I got rid of this set a couple years ago. And now I think used, what does it go for? Looks low here, 500, 550. Maybe I didn't do so bad, but look at this new $1,700.
Oh, it's so good.
Amazing set. A lot of people dislike this as an early modular. Oh, it's unpolished. It's not good. This marketplace over on the left with the vegetables and the gates, so cool. I guess this is based on San Francisco. So it's great. The interiors are a little bit light. You know, it's an early modular, but the paint scheme is amazing. The tan shingles on the roof, the striped awning, all of it works so well, especially for a 14-year-old set. Point is, these gold rings here, easily a $20 part.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I did the same as you. I actually picked up 5 of those right before they went out of stock.
Wow, nice job, man.
And I picked up 2 of them because I did 2 separate purchases, right? To get the gift with purchase, to get to the $190 threshold. So I got the retro fruit truck with that. And then I picked up 2 of like 3 others of the Monkey Kids sets. I went a little bit wide then tall on those, but like you said, new theme. The early data is starting to show that it's going to be a successful theme. And so I was like, all right, let me prospect a little bit, you know, get your feet wet with it, get it figured out, and then start moving forward.
I like to stick in my comfort zone with Star Wars and Speed Champions. I mean, just look at the sets behind me. That tells most of the story. However, it's good to go outside the comfort zone.
Oh, yeah, especially with a new theme. Another new theme. We won't dive it now. We'll talk about it later, but I have my eyes on the original wave of the Dream sets. And
man.
I'm curious to see where those go.
Maybe if you get them at Costco for 50% off, maybe.
Yep.
Other than that, it's like at 20% off, at the standard 20%, like, is it going to grow?
No.
To make it worth your while? Like, no, it's not.
We're talking about sets that we're getting on huge discounts
You
coming
could look
in.
at, you could look at like the hidden side.
At the end of 2024, we're going to get huge discounts on these sets that are flying under the radar that are a new theme.
The 2024, or no, excuse me, it's older, way older than that. The hidden side shrimp boat.
Yep.
That whole hidden side, like virtual reality, all that stuff is garbage. It never works out. But that set itself was very cool. It's a shrimp boat. And that set has gone on to increase in valuation, I think more than double, just offhand. We'll pull it up in the edit, but
Yep. So there's
if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know, hey, sometimes it happens.
I know we're getting towards the end of this episode 8, but before we get out of here, I know we're going to talk a couple of 2024 sets, but I definitely got to self-report the couple of sets that I bought in 23 that I am absolutely regretting.
Oh, man.
The first one is this one right here.
Oh.
Wildlife Rescue. And then even worse is the Minecraft Training Grounds. DG, you don't even want to look on this one. I only have 2 of each of these.
That's fine. You could say they're for personal build at that point.
You can, but they weren't. Now, this one is MSRP 50. I got them for 20 from Walmart. Clearance.
That's a win.
It is a win-ish, but I still wish I'd just pass. It's another SKU that I have to deal with. And if we go over here on eBay, I mean, it's not selling for much. 25
No, you're wrong.
shipped.
You are so wrong, my friend. That giraffe itself, I believe, is exclusive. I know it's new in this set. That giraffe itself, my friend, is a godsend. For that reason, you got to hold these, my friend. You got to hold these.
And
with
that's what I'm going to do.
You got to hold them with your diamond hands. You got to box them up in a nice cardboard box, and you got to put them in the back of the closet. So it's out of sight, out of mind. You need to forget about these, my friend. You need to forget about these for about 3 or 4 years. My man, you'll be wishing you had 20 of them.
Well, we'll come back to this roll right here, to this clip right here. But that's why I picked it up, because the draft, it's exclusive, it's unique. But still, right now, I'm just like, it's 2 boxes. And it's another SKU, so we'll see.
Here we go. Today, I guess this episode, the year-end review has turned into the greatest fails highlight. This set, released in 2019, retired at the end of 2020, a $30 set. Looks like it currently goes on Bricklink for $18 plus shipping. So maybe plus shipping is maybe like 25 under the MSRP, despite being 3+ years retired. I like it. The crab is cool. I picked a couple up on clearance for $18, 40% off. I'm holding this. However, However, if you look on eBay, it looks to be selling sometimes a little bit over that $18 brick set price. So potentially you just have to hold your friends' losers and potentially bundle them.
Well, I'm glad that you're making me feel better about this one. I still regret picking up since it was only two boxes.
My friend, you need to type in Bricklink part out and then 41717. Any guesses on the current, as of New Year's 2024, value on these sets?
No, $50. I have no idea.
I'm going to say 40 sold, but the future value, 60, 40 and 60. Let's check it out, folks. Oh, 60 and 83. So the forward future selling on this, if you got this at $20 as a Bricklink seller, you're doing great. And personally, those giraffes are awesome. Those would fit into like hilariously a Star Wars mock or something. You know what I mean? You have like a Naboo mock with the Gungans and the AATs, and then you have like just some giraffes. You know what I mean?
Some giraffes hanging out on the side.
Yeah, man. Something I've always wanted to do is like take the UCS AT-AT and make one in a Dagobah swamp, like kind of broken down and like disabled, like with plants growing on it and stuff.
That would be cool. DG, thank you for making me feel better about picking up two of this set.
So what's your next one?
Which was great. But the one that I will never feel good about is this one, $80 set. And I bought it at $55 on clearance. That was terrible. If we go to eBay, it's like $55 shipped. And I mean, hey, maybe I can make $2. I might make $3 and beat you out on the one that you gave as an example earlier.
If you had listened to my advice and watched my videos throughout the year, I could have warned you against the dangers of investing in this dud.
You were too late to the party. I had already picked it up. It was really early in the year. I just saw them and I was like, whoa, that's weird. Really early.
I had 10 of these available at $35 and I thought really hard about it and I passed them up. And I'm glad that I did, because that $350 I put towards fighter tanks that will easily be $1,000.
Yeah, no, that was great. Would you like both of mine? I'll sell them to you for MSRP.
Yeah, right, buddy. Maybe in 2 years.
All right.
They'll probably still be MSRP. Well, folks, that does it for our 2023 discussion for today's podcast episode. These sets will no doubt come up in the future. We'll talk about them again. However, for now, we are going to shift our focus to some forward thinking. What's retiring in 2024? What are we looking at over the next 6 months? And then as major retirement season approaches in holiday season of 2024, what are we looking at?
All right, DG, I picked out two sets that I want to highlight for 2024. Obviously, we're going to talk about tons of them going forward in future podcasts. But the first of the two, one is Star Wars, one is not. I'll show you the Star Wars first. And it is the $400 Mos Eisley Cantina 75290. It's my only day one buy in like the last 10 years. I bought it and built it right away. And I believe this is a $1,000 set, probably a few year hold time, but I believe it's a $1,000 set.
Absolutely.
So that's the Star Wars set that I'm looking at so far, and then I want to show you one non-Star Wars, and it is Brickhead's Lord of the Rings, and I picked Gandalf the Grey and Balrog. Balrog is awesome. Brickheads are awesome. So an early peek at what I'm looking at in 2024. These are my two sets to start out with.
Well, they didn't make it into my spreadsheet, but I do own two of these. Try not to be like us, folks. Try to actually catalog your purchases as you make them so you have a great idea of when things were purchased. This will come in handy when it's time to do your taxes at the end of the year. It's also just good to know how your business is doing and keep organized. Be sure to keep your spreadsheets up to date. Do not be like me. This set is a total winner. I totally agree, especially if you can get it on less than $20, like even 20% in rebate or gift with purchase. This is absolutely a winner. The value is great. So many pieces and such large figures. This seems underpriced at $20, kind of like the Ahsoka Brickhead. Great set, and I look forward to picking up more.
And what do you think of my Star Wars pick?
Oh my goodness. You know how hard I went into the gunship. Did a buy 5, get 1 free. So I'm looking to do the same with a Cantina. In my opinion, this is from the most popular and the most classic Star Wars movie of all time, A New Hope. Just a great story on, so many good planets and characters, just a whole world introduced from scratch. So that's an amazing film. This is an amazing set with some amazing minifigures. Let's look up what the current value is. Give me some brick economy, if you would. So despite having been out for multiple years, going on 3 years now more, the figures in this set still compose $250 value. If we look at the other Master Builder series sets and the UCS sets, like the UCS Hoth set, buildings with many, many figures, that style of set from these OG trilogy movies tend to do amazing. The Battle of Endor, another one. This is kind of a no-brainer, a little bit like the UCS Gunship, a little bit like the fighter tank for different reasons, but it's that level of, yes, I'm going in. Now, is there going to be oversupply? No. There's eternal appeal. The demand is always going to be increasing, and especially as time wears on. Look at what happened with UCS Hoth. It was despised for years. Now it's a classic, and it's gone over 2.5 times up in value. So enough time passes and these large Lego Star Wars sets easily go to $1,000. I'm going to be stocking up on this in 2024. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And DG, I promise you, I am not going to miss out on this one like I did on the gunship. All right. What are your two sets that you want to look at for 2024?
I'm going to stay very closely in my comfort zone in 2024. I'm going to be investing in certain sets from themes like Speed Champions 76908. This is the Wolf of Wall Street Lamborghini Countach. Even though it was released in 2022, it'll have a 2.5-year shelf life, a lot like the Koenigsegg and the Supra that are already $30. Also, just looking at the box art, oh my goodness, did they nail it. The build technique, one of a kind. Yes, there are stickers, you know, that's unfortunate. The cockpit actually does look good on this set, which is always a little risky with Speed Champions. 262 pieces, and at the outgoing $20 price point, if you can get this on sale for $16, this is such a buy, it's ridiculous. So I'm heavily looking at this set. And then furthermore, a Star Wars set, 75333. Funny enough, I already bought 11 of this set. I loaded up early in March before it left the retirement list. It was out of date to return them. I didn't really want to return them anyway. So I figured, you know, into the box they go. They're going into cold storage for another 12 months while they do not accumulate in value. In total, that's $278 of value that is just sitting on my shelf, not growing, not doing anything. At least it's being kept safe, I suppose, unless there's a horrible natural disaster or something like that that destroys everything.
Totally agree. I love them both too.
That is going to do it for today's episode of Brick Talk. We'll be back very soon with another episode where we talk about some 2024 retiring sets. Until then, peace out, buy very carefully, and have a great day.